Every night, when the city went quiet, David put on his faded blue janitor uniform and started his shift. He was a single father, a man whose hands were rough from years of mopping floors, but whose heart was soft for one little girl, his daughter Lily. At just 8 years old, Lily had dreams bigger than the stars she loved to stare at through their tiny apartment window. David promised her a better future. But promises were hard to keep when life only gave you the bare minimum. He worked at a big company downtown, a place where polished shoes clicked on marble floors and no one ever looked twice at the janitor pushing a cleaning cart. But David didn't mind. He wasn't here to be noticed, he was here to survive. For Lily, the CEO, Clara Monroe, was known for being sharp, powerful, and untouchable. To David, she was like a storm in heels, commanding every corner of the building. He had never spoken more than a polite, "good evening," to her. Their worlds were galaxies apart. That night, everything went wrong. David was rushing between conference rooms, his mind already on the lunchbox he had promised Lily for her school trip. As he bent down to wipe a coffee spill in Clara's office, left there from a late meeting, his elbow brushed the edge of a glass jug. Time seemed to slow. The jug wobbled, tipped, and then, crash, a wave of cold water poured straight onto Clara's open laptop. The door swung open. Clara walked in at that exact moment. Her heels stopped. Her eyes narrowed. The air in the room turned ice cold. David froze, his breath caught in his throat. His hands shook as he tried to save the device, but it was too late. The screen flickered and went black. Clara's voice was sharp enough to slice glass. David's heart pounded like thunder. In seconds, everything he'd worked so hard for could be gone. One mistake. One job. And his little girl depending on him. But then, as Clara approached the desk, the laptop flickered again. For a moment, a photograph glowed on the half-damaged screen. It wasn't a spreadsheet. It wasn't a business plan. It was a picture of a little girl in a hospital bed. A little girl with the same spark in her eyes that Lily had. Clara's voice faltered. Her hand trembled slightly before she covered the screen. Something in her face shifted, not anger. Pain. David didn't understand. But something told him this moment was no longer about a laptop. The next day, David waited anxiously for the call that would end everything. But it didn't come. He still had his badge. His uniform. And a strange weight in his chest. When night came, Clara called him to her office herself. He entered slowly, his heartbeat loud in his ears. Clara sat at her desk, the laptop now replaced with a new one, but the broken one lay to the side. She didn't yell. She didn't fire him. She simply asked about his daughter. The question hit him like a wave. No one at work ever asked about his life. David told her about Lily, the late nights he worked to afford her schoolbooks, the way she loved drawing stars, the way she believed her dad could do anything. Clara listened in silence, the kind of silence that held weight, not judgment. Then Clara told him her story. She once had a daughter too. Her name was Emma. Emma had been diagnosed with a rare illness at the age of 7. Clara had buried herself in work, trying to build an empire, trying to create a world where Emma would never feel weak. But Emma's illness grew worse. And one winter night, she was gone. Clara had been too late to say goodbye. The photograph on the broken laptop was the last picture they had taken together. David sat in silence, the pain in her voice cutting through the walls of power and position. For the first time, they weren't a janitor and a CEO. They were two parents, both fighting battles no one else saw. Clara didn't fire him. Instead, she gave him an opportunity. She saw something in David she had lost in herself years ago, unshakable love for a child. She offered him a better position at the company, one that would allow him to spend more time with Lily and provide her with a brighter future. She said, "Sometimes, the people who seem invisible are the ones holding the world together." Months passed. David worked hard, and Lily blossomed. She had new clothes, better school supplies, and, most importantly, her dad by her side at school events. And Clara, who had built walls around her heart, found light again in Lily's laughter. In some way, helping David helped heal a piece of herself she thought was lost forever, and the water spill that was supposed to ruin David's life ended up changing both of theirs.